Welcome to Cleveland'sGospelTV.com. I'm your host, Candace Servant, and today we're going to talk about an interesting topic, second chances for felons. And to help me with the topic today is Minister Charles. Welcome to Cleveland'sGospelTV.com. How are you?
Doing well, Candace. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best. I'm glad to have you on the show with me today.
It's good to be here.
Okay, so before we get into the topic, please share with our viewers your background.
Well, I'm the pastor of Abundant Life Christian Center Church. We hold services in the Phyllis Wheatley Building, 4450 Cedar Road, every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock.
Amen, amen. And how long have you been there?
We started last week was our first service.
All right.
And we're looking for many good things to come.
Amen, amen. Now, I asked you to be on the show today for this topic due to the fact that when I first met you, I found out that you minister to people that's in prison.
That's correct.
Okay. So my first question to you would be, is it true, once a felon, always a felon?
Well, that depends on who you ask that question.
Okay.
You pay your debt to society.
Amen.
Or I should say you pay your debt to the legal system. Society never forgives you.
Right.
It's one thing to go away and do your time for whatever they say you did, and then to come out and just have the struggles that these young men have.
Right. Well, that's kind of part of my next question. Why does society still treat people like criminals after they have served their time?
Because everybody thinks they're better than everybody else. There's
Okay.
not one person out there that has not made a mistake.
Okay.
The only difference between a lot of the people that are locked up and the people that have never been locked up,
Okay.
they never got caught.
Amen.
I mean, think about it. Someone's walking down the street and they're selling a lawnmower, and you need a lawnmower. You buy a lawnmower. That's
Right.
receiving stolen property.
Right.
So it's just a fine line.
Okay. So when you go to minister in these prisons, what are some of the things that you tell these young men?
I try to explain to them that it's not going to be easy when they get out,
Okay.
but that there are places that are trying to help them. They have different programs, reentry programs at various places. A lot of churches now are getting involved in helping with released inmates. One of the things that as pastor of Abundant Life, I want to see happen is a place where you welcome them in.
Amen.
Jesus said we're supposed to visit the people that are locked up.
Right.
But that goes even beyond just being locked up. When they get out, we still care for them because irregardless of what they did, they're our brothers and sisters.
Okay. All right. So when they get out, do you still have with them?
Yes. It's very important. If I can just keep it real, then maybe you'll understand why
Okay.
I have such a passion for doing it. In 1991, I got locked up.
Okay.
I served 6 years.
Wow.
And I noticed there were various people that would say they would come in, say they're in your corner, they'll write you for a few minutes. Then the next thing you know, nobody's calling you, nobody's saying anything to you,
Okay.
nobody's sending you any money or anything.
Right.
And there was a gentleman that used to come in named, it was Reverend Mark Oles.
Okay.
And he had, what caught my attention, he said that he had been locked up for 25 years. And I said, wow, now this brother been locked up for 25 years. He got out and he comes in here.
Okay.
And it's a funny thing because the day I got out, I remember saying to my dad who picked me up, I said, I ain't never going back in there. I ain't even going to visit nobody.
Okay.
But it's a funny thing about God. He'll send you places that you think you don't want, you ain't going.
Amen.
So you never know where you're going to go. So I say, be careful saying what you're going to do and what you ain't going to do. Because with God, there is no limit.
Amen. Okay. So my question to you is, in your opinion, do felons deserve a second chance?
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Why?
Well, think about it. They're coming out. They have families.
Amen.
They have children. They have to provide for their families. So if no one is going to give them a job, if no one is going to say, hey, we're going to take a chance on you, what happens to the family?
Right.
One of the things that's messed up out here is that because of our young men in prison,
Okay.
And I'll say young men because the dads really are important. There's no structure in the household.
Right.
So if there's no structure in the household, then there's not going to be any structure in the church.
Okay.
If there's no structure in the church, then you're not going to have any structure in your community.
Amen.
If there's no structure in the community, there's no structure in your city.
Amen.
If the city is messed up, your county's going to be messed up.
All
If
right.
your county is messed up, your state's messed up. Your state's going to be messed up. The nation's going to be messed up.
All right, that is very inspirational. Amen. Well, I want to thank you very much for helping me out with this topic today. Is there any last remarks you want to tell our viewers out there?
Yes. Just because you see someone that says they've been locked up, don't clutch your purse. Don't treat them like they have the bubonic plague. Love on them. They deserve a second chance. What if it was you?
Amen. Well, I want to thank Minister Charles once again for joining us right here on ClevelandsGospelTV.com.